Hi, and welcome to my presentation on education within zoological collections. So there are 5 aims of zoos. They are conservation, which is the focus on conservational projects, welfare, which looks at meeting the 5 animal needs, education, which is what this presentation will focus on, recreation, which is more the day out for families, and research, which links to the conservational projects and outreach programs that the zoos are linked to. So there are educational aims within the modern zoo. Education is integral to the running of the daily processes within zoos. This is present within a variety of methods as presented within a daily visit. Within the UK, we are governed by the Secretary of State's Modern Zoo Practices, and this lists that all zoos must promote education. There must always be educational signage visible. The focus of all education projects must link back to conservation, and there must be a written education strategy. This is all highlighted within BIAZA, which is the British and Irish Association of Zoos and Aquariums, and this implies that all education must be available to all ages and all key stages. There must be a constant message of biodiversity conservation. There must also be a written educational strategy, and these can link back to the outreach programs and conservation as performed by the zoo. There is also the EAZA Education Guidelines, and this is the European Association of Zoos and Aquariums. This likes to involve loads of people into their conservation work. It also promotes the living of sustainability and living within your means. These like their zoos to educate through interactions such as experience days, keeper talks. They also like to promote the conservation projects as promoted through the zoo, which is also evident within BIAZA. There are 2 main methods of education. The first is formal, and this is learning with structured and guided content. There is normally keeper-led, which can be talks, visits to schools to educate children on conservation and welfare. These methods normally have a plan and an aim and an easily identifiable outcome for the session. There's also informal educational methods, which can be done through reading signs, touch tables, watching videos. These are visitor-led. The visitor does these sessions themselves. There is no need for instructions or a keeper to be present. This is also mainly present in subconscious learning, where the visitor is unable to realise that they are being taught information. There are current trends within educational themes. Now, these can be global, or they can also occur within local country or a local collection of national zoos. These trends mainly focus upon conservation projects found around the world to highlight different conservational aims, impacts. Some of them are highlighted here, such as the silent forest, which is the Asian songbird crisis, where these birds are hunted for their feathers, for the pet trade, for meat, and for medicinal purposes, and the ivory trade, which again is the hunting and poaching of animals for the ivory to be made into statues, ornaments, and also used in medicinal programs. These trends mainly focus upon conservation and outreach programs run by the zoo or in relation with another zoo, another collection, or a research project. So key events that zoos have recently focused upon are plastic pollution, the Australian bushfires, and global warming. So these key events tend to be topical, they tend to be global, and they tend to be present across a lot of zoos. Some zoos also focus upon theme days, themed weeks such as Zebra Week or Shark Week. Again, they highlight the conservation issues, which is evident in all educational aims. All zoos have to promote this, so they implement it within their education displays and talks. And these also help to promote active change within the activity and behaviour of their visitors. Examples of current education in zoos. Due to the recent pandemic, loads of zoos have gone to online learning, such as featured in the picture below. This is Paynton Zoo, where their keeper talks are now being recorded and put live weekly onto social media. Due to this, these educational methods have become more accessible to a wider variety of people that maybe couldn't have gone to the zoos before in previous times. And a lot of zoos also use touch tables, which are a lot more accessible. They are relatable to loads of different key stages and learning abilities, and this is visitor-led. People can go in, they can interact with the artifacts, and this actually encourages people to realise the impact that they are having, or maybe possible other behaviour of other humans are having upon conservation, protection of environment and species. These are just some of the current methods used within the educational activities on a global scale. Some zoos, such as Chester Zoo, have gone on to technology. So they are using the QR reader that is almost like a Pokemon Go collectible activity. Melbourne Zoo have recently looked into VR, so you can interact with animals without actually having to use the animals. There are also animal interactions where people pay to come and get close-up interactions. Touch tables as discussed earlier, and also these interactive signage which encourages people to think, do, and such things. And that's everything. Thank you for listening.